And I believe that is the number one enemy of everyone, is not understanding what is actually going on in the world. It's only when you start to understand that you can make effective decisions and effective plans. Now, the question is, who is promoting ignorance? Well, those organisations that try to keep things secret, and those organisations which distort true information to make it false or misrepresentative. In this latter category, it is bad media. It really is my opinion that the media in general are so bad, we have to question whether the world wouldn't be better off without them altogether. They're so distortive to how the world actually is, that the result is we see wars and we see corrupt governments continue on. One of the hopeful things that I've discovered is that nearly every war that has started in the past 50 years has been a result of media lies. The media could have stopped it if they had searched deep enough. If they hadn't reprinted government propaganda, they could have stopped it. But what does that mean? Well, that means basically populations don't like wars. And populations have to be fooled into wars. Populations don't willingly, with open eyes, go into a war. So if we have a good media environment, then we'll also have a peaceful environment.
Julian Assange, thank you very much.
Today we're alone outside the Ecuadorian embassy, where nobody cares about Julian Assange. Back to you, Ben.
Great work. Now let's get the fuck out of here, Rachel.
Hey, get back here. We care about Julian Assange.
Prison, under house arrest, and almost 5 years here in this embassy without sunlight. My children grew up without them. That is not something that I can forgive. It is not something that I can forget. It's something that I hope will be more than just about me. Because the reality is, detention and extradition without charge has become a feature of the European Union.
Woman, when you walk my way with your pepper spray, all I can do is watch your hips sway. So come on now, police woman in your blue uniform, Let me turn you on. Arrest me. Arrest me. Arrest me. Police woman, don't you know that I will turn you on with your own baton? I will turn you on with your handcuffs on. Come on, police woman in your blue uniform, let me turn you on. When you walk my way, all I can do is watch your hips sway when you walk my way. Police woman.
Please talk. Can someone talk to me? Can someone actually just tell me where the US Embassy staff are? No, they're not answering. So the British High Commission are not answering the door to 2 British citizens wanting to ask questions. Pretty shoddy. And it's raining now. 3rd venue today.
And the Swedish episode was just a bogus red herring. The US Constitution protects publishers and journalists. This crime was just to have broken the silence. It provided, shown that we're complicit by failing to speak out against illegal wars and the attacks on this journalist who's actually provided the real truth and the deceit of Western governments. There's no investigative journalism in our lifetime whose equal importance in terms of the information he has provided through WikiLeaks. He's called rapacious power to account. He's shown that our governments are supporting 70% of the military, including Saudi Arabia, which has an appalling record in terms of human rights and the treatment of women. It also is attacking on behalf of United States Yemen, and we know that millions of people are a threat now in Yemen of starvation because they're closing the last port there, which is providing the humanitarian aid. At the same time, the drone execution that we don't really hear of innocent people all through the Middle East and any part of the world. Malcolm Turnbull can remain silent, or he can seize this opportunity and use his government's diplomatic influence to defend the life of an Australian citizen, a really top Australian citizen whose courageous public service is recognised by countless people across the world. He can bring Julian Assange home, and that's what we ask him to do right now.
Thank you. Right, we're gonna take it away now. Bye-bye beehive until the next time. This will be where we come for emergency action. There's been a few people walking past today, taking an interest, which is great. It's just what we want. Some people are like, who's Julian? That astounds me really, but anyway. Some people are like, we're with her, and I think those people really need to do some more investigation. But anyway, here we are. Free speech, freedom of press. Not 1984 if we can help it.
Everyone has heard of Pinterest. This is what it looks like before you log on. It's the home of cats. And more cats. And even more cats. And even some useful collections of information, like art galleries of the world. But why would Unity for J people want to use it? Because so long as you sign in with a Pinterest logon, you will find a rapidly expanding library that will help you do your research, write your blogs, dress your tweets and Facebook entries with good quotes, and generally support Julian Assange and WikiLeaks more effectively and with less effort. So what's in here? The top part of the page has resources for learning and writing about Julian and WikiLeaks. We start off with info and donations, which takes you to various official sources. Notice how a link shows when you hover over a pin. So if you want to donate to Julian's Legal Defence Fund, find that pin and click the link. Instant access is in a separate window. When you're done donating, just close that window and go back to the Pinterest tab. All the major WikiLeaks publications are here in roughly chronological order. The chronological order of some boards is not exact, but Pinterest wasn't really designed for this purpose and makes it difficult. Sometimes extra entries are added to a board. In this case, the criteria WikiLeaks uses for publishing items. As with all pins, if we want to see the image enlarged, we click on the plus sign, and there it is. Want to see where that list of criteria came from? Just click the link. If the source is a video, you will usually be taken to the exact part of the video, but when it is a long article or transcript like this, you may need help. Just use the find function on your browser and it'll appear. We don't have time to look at all the research boards, but two that can be really helpful are Small Bits and Speaking. Small Bits is a collection of quotes in meme form linked to the source of the meme. The WikiLeaks principle of scientific journalism is that all things presented to a reader should be linked to source, so they can see and judge for themselves the accuracy of what you're saying. If you want to use these memes, you just right-click on the expanded image and Save Image As to download it to your own computer. Don't forget to associate it with the source link when you tweet or blog it, as you want to follow the WikiLeaks scientific journalism model. There's a growing collection of Julian Assange's speeches too, some with transcripts. Again, these are in roughly chronological order and are linked to the videos themselves. There's also an index at the top, which grows with every speech added. Click on it to explore the spreadsheet version of these speeches. The other research boards work the same ways. Recognition, which shows the prizes that Julian and WikiLeaks have won. Books. All the episodes of the 2012 Julian Assange show. And films about WikiLeaks. Where these are hostile, some commentary has been included too. Then we move into the fields of art related to Julian and WikiLeaks, often sourced from tweets, and music linked to videos or SoundCloud where appropriate. There's lots of legal stuff in law and lawyers, including links to relevant judgments. There's a small bit on Julian as a child and quite a bit more on what other people, OPs, have said about Julian in speech, writing, and some short quotes you can use too. Then we get to other resources, mostly created by Unity4J. All the vigil videos are here, linked to the videos of course, plus a board for the vigil speakers. Then quotes from the vigils that you can download and use for tweets, blogs, articles, etc. At the moment, each is just linked to the video the quote came from. As we get more time, we'll try to link to the exact place in the video. If someone wants to volunteer to help with that task, that'd be great. Tasty Tweets is a collection of timeless tweets if you've run out of stuff of your own to say. Find one that appeals and click on the Twitter link. You'll be taken straight to Twitter, where you can just retweet that tweet. How simple is that? Then you can sign petitions, help to get more awards for Julian and WikiLeaks, find graphics to download, and see lots of suggestions for getting advice. Here are things that other people have been doing, mostly picked up from their tweets. Your action can be here too if you bring it to our attention. This Pinterest page currently has more than 1,000 pins and we're just getting started. Recommend it to friends who want to know about Unity4J but don't want to come to Discord. This is another way to share our collective knowledge and resources. We hope you enjoy the Pinterest page, make it popular and use it a lot to improve public knowledge about Julian Assange, WikiLeaks and their fight for truth in journalism and justice in the world.
Hi everybody, welcome to WikiBeats session number 9. I am the very croaky, hoarse Susie Dawson, activist, journalist and organiser of the Unity4J movement in solidarity with Julian Assange. I am here with a bunch of amazing people from our team to update you on what's been going on and to have a look at what our next steps are. I have with us here Joe Booth. He's only here for a few minutes. Joe is
G'day.
Joe's the Tech Director of Internet Party of New Zealand and really the Technical Director of the Unity4J movement as well. Joe, tell us a bit about where you are right now and why you've been a bit quiet this week.
This week I'm in Beijing, China for work. So I've been roaming the streets a bit when the pollution is not so bad, but there's not a lot of Wi-Fi here, and only have a limited amount of data. So it's good to catch up with you guys and catch you just as it's 8 in the morning here. So just as I'm about to head off to work to see you all busily working away. So I'll be catching you if it's a long time, and I've certainly keep in touch with what's happening, and fantastic effort from you, and it's great to see your faces actually. It's been a few days. So yeah, hey Bruce, hey Ebon, Kitty, yeah, Liz, Kathy, Susie, fantastic to see you all. And I'm going off to wander down. I'm up on the 20th floor of a building, and it's fairly fantastic views. Might go visit the Wall in Tiananmen Square and a few other places while I'm here. But I'm here for the week, so I hope to catch up with you more. Might see you tomorrow on the stream. Yeah.
Have a good one. Thank you for the photos you sent me. It was amazing to see what it's like.
There's some good sunsets here. Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Okay, catch you later, Joe. Thank you for stopping.
All right, bye, guys.
Okay, everybody, my little bit of exciting news is that I just finished shooting a couple of segments, which is why my voice is so hoarse, because I've already been talking for hours. I just finished shooting a couple of segments with a show that you all know and love, and which gets a huge amount of traffic. And I was there promoting Unity for J movement and advocating for Julian's freedom and for WikiLeaks in general, and educating people more about WikiLeaks achievements. I'm not going to tell you where that was or what that was for yet. I'm going to wait until because it's in pre-production, right, or in production, right, post-production, I should say, Kathy. It's in post-production right now. Once it's released.
Not exactly in post-production yet. We're just
we filmed. No. I'm talking about the interviews I just filmed.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. But it's a really exciting thing for us to have access to that platform. So thank you, Nikki, saying get well soon to me. I was actually in bed with the flu for the last 4 days, but today I dragged myself off to get my hair done and try and make myself presentable to rep the movement. And the filming went really, really well. And I'm looking forward to seeing and us being able to distribute the finished product. So I will let you know at a future date when that is out, and I hope that you'll all be very pleased and that I did a good job on behalf of you. So I do take seriously the privilege of representing this movement, which is why I'm here, even though I sound like a frog. So I've got with me tonight, let me have a look at our list. Oh, we've got a newcomer as well. I've got with me Bruce King from our social media team, who's also an amazing activist and Internet Party candidate. And he's been doing incredible work on the TPP in New Zealand. I'm really proud of what you've been doing recently, Bruce. You've been inspirational. A lot of people are taking notice of what you've been doing. I can tell you that, good people. I've got with me Binney and Daniel Ellsberg, who's the webmaster of our new website. I've got Elizabeth, Cat Mima, who's another old school TPP activist and Internet Party supporter and all-round amazing chick. Kathy Vaughan, who is a filmmaker, Australian activist, and huge supporter of Julian, friend of myself and Julian Assange, and is going to talk a little bit, maybe tomorrow night, we'll see, about the Unity for J documentary that we're putting together. And we've got Eben Kim, our tech guy, our stream team leader, and we've got Kitty Handel, who's head of research for Unity for J as well. So welcome to the stream, everyone, and thank you for being here. Now, I am hoping that I can have you all just have a chat about where you're at, what you've been doing, and give whatever messages you want to give to the audience while I sit here and drink my medicine from my Courage Foundation coffee mug, couragefound.org, if you want to get a mug just like mine and help to support the Courage Foundation. And then I'm going to have my much larger chicken broth. And I'm hoping that after all that, I'll be a bit better place to speak to you all. So take it away. Who wants to put their I think Kathy has to leave first, so maybe we'll let her talk first.
Okay, so I apologize. I'm using a different computer and it's a little bit noisy. I hope people can come in close to the microphone. So as you will all have noticed, if you're on Discord, Jomanji has created a whole new department for us called the Unity for J Doco, in which there are 4 subfolders. One is video logging, one is team portraits, which I hope you're all preparing now, the little 1-minute videos to show us your work and also tell us why you're giving your time and talent to Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. The third one is video clips, and that is a collection. I have said that I only want clips that are made only by the people from Unity for J, so we can start collecting them, the little Lego ones, something fantastic, but sometimes we find it a bit hard. Where was that one? And last time we found the wrong one. So they all have to be centralized for us as well. And finally, the doco discussion, which is where we chat for the moment about the work in progress. Now, let me just say very clearly that the editing has not begun. We will really begin the editing only once we finished the first part of any documentary, is taking stock of what you have. So that's it. That it really is video logging, where I just need people to watch the individual clips of the vigils, just say a speaker, and it's like you'd be taking notes in a lecture. So in a series of points, what the people are talking about and just the time code where it starts and ends. They could be a minute apart if the 2 people keep talking about the same thing. I don't need anything precise just now, but really a very complete list of what we have. And until you've done that, you can't cut any documentary, especially one where you're going to have...
Kathy, I'm super sorry, but people in chat are saying that your audio is really distorted and they're struggling to hear you. So what Kathy's talking about at the moment is the new set of channels that have been set up on our Discord platform and the purposes of each of those channels that relate to the documentary project that she is leading. That she's leading for Unity for J. So your best bet, if you want to be a part of this project and contribute to it, is to go to unity4j.com, unity4j.com/Discord, and then come in and message Kathy, CATHY space Vogan, VOGAN. And Kathy, I think once we get your audio situation fixed, maybe if you could come in tomorrow night, it would be really great. We have WikiBeat sessions for the next 2 days, and we'd love having you here with us. It's really cool. So yes. please.
Can you just please ask people to hold off, especially on editing, until they get some clear instructions.
Right. Okay. Cool. So what Kathy's saying is, please don't try to edit footage yet. We're nowhere near that phase. We've only just agreed, like a week, 2 weeks ago, that we're going to make this documentary. And what she's looking for at the moment is for people to scour through the 200 plus videos on the Unity for J channel on YouTube and find all the best bits and just write down the timestamps and the links to the videos. No, not wanting that? Sorry.
No, choosing the best bits is already editing. That means that there will be no logging of the things that people don't consider to be the best bits. And when we start editing, we won't know what's in all the gaps. So I just need a complete list in point form.
Okay. So she's wanting to compile a list of all of the videos, the 200 plus videos. And do you want durations and content?
No, just the time codes of each point that is being made.
Right.
So it can be 2 speakers speaking for a little while on the same topic. The time code of where it starts. That's all.
Okay.
And only 6 words to describe what they're talking about. So we've got a very short description.
Cool. Yeah, so she's wanting you guys to analyze the video footage that is on Unity4J, to write down the topics in just a couple of key words about what the speakers are talking about at any given time. Right.
And the
Okay,
start
so
and the time code when it
Yeah.
starts.
the start and finishing time code for each topic that's being discussed.
Yes, that's all.
Oh, no problems.
And they can be submitted to video logging folder in text format on Discord.
Okay, cool. So in text format, you can put them in the video logging channel on Discord. So there's 4 different channels for the documentary, but step 1 will be to be added to the video team, right? So that they can see the Discord channels. So when you join Discord on unity4j.com/Discord, you go to the hash roll channel. I think it will land you in there now anyway, or maybe no, it lands you in rules, I think. Go to the hash roll channel right at the top and select, like, there's a question that will say, can you edit video, or is this one of your interests? You click on it and it will assign you to the video team. From then you'll be able to see and access and contribute to the documentary, the 4 channels that are for the documentaries. And then please read the pinned post so that you make sure that you're posting the right content into the right channels. And you can tag Kathy if you want to get her attention as well.
Yeah, and also I would really like to see those self-portraits coming in. 1 minute, filming you talk about your work, present your work, and then say why you have to work for this movement. Okay?
Cool, and you'd like that for any contributing participant of the movement?
Everyone.
Great. Okay, that's really important. That's really important because, I mean, we have like 70, 80 vigil participants. We have like 29 mods on the server, but we've had hundreds of people who've contributed work, whether it's graphics or video or our social media admins or whatever. So anybody who has been a contributing member, no matter which team or what it is that you contributed, please can you shoot a 1 minute video of yourself. I mean, if we choose to use the footage, we'll probably only use maybe 10 or 15 seconds of it. But shoot a 1 minute video talking about why you support this movement, why you chose to participate in it, what you've contributed or worked on, or what your experience has been working for the movement. And please submit that to our documentary team, and you may well be included in the documentary.
Cool.
Everybody who works on the documentary will be in the film credits at the end as well. We'll make sure of that, if you want to be.
Okay. Well, I have to go now.
Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow on your normal computer.
It's being fixed.
Okay. Okay.
So this is an older one. Sorry about that.
No problem. Love you, Kathy. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Cool. Okay, I'm still sitting here with my full chicken broth, so who wants to go next? Come on, guys, volunteers. Who wants to speak next?
I could give you a few updates.
Cool, go for it.
Okay, so I talked to someone, and I don't know if I should say the person's name, so maybe I'll hold off, but we're working on a tool for everyone to submit letters to the editor. We used this during the TPP battle in the US. And what we're going to do is have like one form letter, but I think I'd like to have people able to personalize it if they want to. And then you just go to another window, you put in your zip code, you go to another window, and you'll be able to check all your local media papers, I guess. And it will automatically send to, maybe up to 50 different papers in the area, your letter to the editor. And so just in a matter of minutes, you could get your letter possibly published locally, which is really how I think we're going to break through the mainstream noise. At least that's how we did with the TPP battle, because they tried to keep everything silent for so long. And it was really the letters to the editor that got everything going, at least over here in the US. Couple other things. There's a channel in the Discord that's call teams. And if anyone wants to sign up, I'd love to have people join us. We're going to try to call, just stay in your country. We're looking for the 4 countries: Australia, the US, Ecuador, and the UK. And I've put all these telephone numbers in there for people to call. It's just a 5-minute commitment. And you just go in there and you call your representatives and you say, we want Julian Assange to be free, and we want you to honor freedom of the press, etc. So go to that channel if you get a chance. Everyone, please. It's just a 5-minute commitment, please. And there's also a channel for students. And even if you're not a student, contact me, and maybe you can go to your local colleges or universities and try to get some students. We're going to try to get regular teams to flyer on campus. In my big grand dream, we would be flyering once a week, and especially right before the vigils. And what we're going to do, hopefully, is work with some other teams and create all different kinds of colorful or black and white flyers, which are more economical, I guess. And we'll be able to tweet out PDFs, and everyone at the school, like if we had a team of, say, 10 people per school, could quickly download that flyer, print them out, and hand them out to their fellow students. Let's see, anything else? I don't know. I'm still reading a lot of the Stratfor emails under the hashtag #CatMemer analysis, and I don't know. I was going to ask you, Susie. I think I should write some kind of article that kind of puts them all together, because I think after a while, well, judging by what Twitter and Facebook are doing, where they just are purging everyone, I think it would be good to maybe, put some of those findings in an article. So I guess look for some Steemit articles from me or something. I don't know what platform I'm going to use, but or if anybody else wants to do that, you're welcome to do that. And finally, Bruce and I also are part of the Tweeter team, but really, Bruce really does it all. I feel like I've been slacking. Like, I definitely tweet a lot, but Bruce has been communicating with the team so much better than I have been lately. I've actually been kind of not doing well health-wise this last week, so and kind of on and off for the last few weeks. So thank you, Bruce, for always being there. But yeah, we're going to be Twitter storming around the clock, especially during the vigils. And really, I think that's all I have on my list. If anyone has any questions for me, you can always direct message me, or if anyone wants to put it in the chat, I'll try to answer any questions for you. Is that enough time, Susie?
That was pretty damn good, actually. Oh, I think I'm a little bit less hoarse. Maybe. Okay. Thank you. Those are all awesome initiatives, and this is a really great example of we didn't have a call team, and we didn't have anyone flyering universities. And these are ideas that Elizabeth has come up with, and is forming teams to to go. I'm going to sit here and burp chicken broth all fucking night. This is a great example of someone coming up with an idea and then building a team within the movement, and then going ahead and executing the idea. And that's really what I want to see from everybody in Unity for J is don't just wait for us to say, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? But actually yourself devise these ideas, these schemes, and say, hey, this is what I want to do. And if we're sweet, this friggin' awesome idea, then rally the troops. Go in. I mean, on Discord, there's like today with the documentary, I was talking to someone about, wasn't Kathy, someone else. It's we have 80 people or something on the video team. Just message them one by one and be like, hey, you're on the video team. Do you want to help me edit this video? Do you want to help me do whatever? I mean, that's just one example. We have something like 20-something teams in Unity for J. So I need you guys to engage each other and to work with each other and to just take action. Take action. Don't just wait for someone else to do it. It's got to come from you. And that's how this movement will build. It's all well and good for us to sit here and say, hey, join our call team or write a letter to the editor with me. But it'll be much more powerful when everybody is building subgroups and doing stuff simultaneously. And even outside the streams, like don't wait for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday WikiBees. Like all of us are still working Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So please just use your initiative, use your own vision, and most importantly, network with each other, because you've got 2,900 like minds sitting in that Discord. So make friends, talk to them, build alliances, and get stuff done, most importantly of all. It's my little pep talk on that front. Bjorn, do you want to talk to us about the website? I just want to say, Elizabeth, you and Bruce are doing an amazing job with Twitter, but you're definitely not the only ones, because I know that, I don't know if they really want to be named, but I know Paula and Fleur and BB from PA and a bunch of people are contributing to that. And the Twitter account is one of the things I'm the most proud of, actually. It built a huge following so quickly. I mean, it's what, 6,500 followers or something, and the account's like 3 months old. Like it's almost unprecedented. I mean, even like our TPP Twitter was like, you know, built so much, even that was, you know, for a mass movement, like tens of thousands of people marching, we still couldn't get that many followers. So the fact that we've built 6,500 followers on that Twitter account in just a couple of months is really phenomenal. And I put it down to the quality of the tweeting and the team that's behind it. They've run it really professionally. They've been really active. The tweets are like neatly timed apart and sequenced and scheduled, and everything is really, really good. And I think a lot of people see that account and they assume it's me. And I've actually never sent a tweet. I'm pretty sure I've never sent a tweet from at Unity for J. So I deserve no credit for that account whatsoever. That is totally on our social media admins who've been amazing with that. And likewise with our Facebook. Our Facebook built a following really quickly as well. And that's another whole separate team in Unity for J that's been doing the Facebook. So our social media admins kick ass, totally kick ass. So on that note, Bjorn or Bruce, whoever speaks first, have a little chat about how things are going from your perspective. You'll have to unmute yourselves because you're both muted.
Well, Bjorn's pointing at me, so I guess it's me.
Introduce yourself, Bruce.
I'm Bruce King. So I'm one of the members of the movement. I was mentioned in relation to the Twitter channel. I do some stuff, but really there are a lot of people working on that, as you just said, Susie. And people, I think to a large extent, just self-organize, and it's a very constructive setup. I think the social media organizers are all very pleasant and just enable people to tweet, and some people in the Twitter channel just step up and do a whole lot of tweets. So that's good, and I think the movement itself, Unity for J, the whole setup is like that also. It's set up very pleasant people, very nice people, and it just enables people to work. That's the whole point of it. So yeah, that's about it. I personally haven't been over the past week. I've mostly been doing TPP stuff, the terrible treaty that's getting passed into New Zealand law. Unfortunately, that's the priority for me, has been. So, but now I'll try and get back and do some more Unity for J stuff, and yeah, just encourage people to just do things for Unity for J, but mostly that's a part of doing things for Julian Assange. And so I love the way Mrs. Assange, Julian's mother, just encourages people to do events and publicizes them, and we can do that too. We do that too. So just a reminder, Julian's in a terrible situation. He continues to be in a terrible situation, and it's a very unstable situation. Hearing news stories that it's getting worse, and time passes, and it's been more than 6 months that he's been isolated inside the embassy without contact with the outside world. So this really is urgent, And Julian Assange is so important to the world that the people listening, you know that already. But I think let's try and continue to grow until the pressure's too much, and something has to be done to help them.
How you feel about it from social media team perspective?
Well, the social media team are wonderful. They just go about their business, helping people and interacting with people in a very positive way. So I think that the social media team is amazing.
Cool. Thank you so much for that, Bruce. Bjorn, you want to speak up?
Yeah, I can say a few words. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Good. Not too much news about the website. I haven't gotten too much done there this past few days. But I was thinking about a couple of things that came up in the Discord. One was somebody mentioned, I think it was Spitfire, that they've changed their rules.
Yeah.
Noticed that? And they said they would always give a 7-day in advance notice before they changed their rules and so on. And I don't know if they had it from before, that they could just disconnect someone without reason or instantly.
So the rules haven't actually changed at all. They've just copy pasted what was there previously. So what they've done, I'll actually show people because I think it'd be really cool for them to see. Let me just share screen. So what's happened is we've had this little usability team form under one of our users, Bagheera, which is really useful. So what they've done is, rather than like before, which was just like a couple of notes from me, oh, wrong channel. Before there just used to be like some things that I had posted, like do this, don't do that, basically. And what they've done is like a properly formatted like intro for people as to, you know, like, welcome to the server, here's what we expect from users, these are the first steps, so go here and do this and then ask for help here and tag these people if you need help, and go here to just have general chat with people, and go here to actually introduce yourself to your team, and etc., etc. And then they've put in all the resource links as well. So none of this stuff was here before, and it's really cool to have it, particularly for new users. So they've got all the information about our social media and whatnot, and even user guides as well are linked in there. And then they have event information about WikiBees and links to it, and about the when our monthly vigil events are, and when our monthly Unity for J Day is, and everything. So there's a really cool initiative that they've done. And I know that right now they're also going to look at usability of the website as well. But first and foremost, they're trying to work out, because right now you'll see like this is the channel that people are entering into. Like someone called Clayton has just showed up. Like we have this constant stream of people joining the server. Like you'll see like every day there's like 10, 12, 15, 20 more people joining. But they tend to get lost because they come in and they see mountains of information, but they don't necessarily know like where to go, how to connect with their teams. Even if they successfully get their roles assigned, it can be really confusing for them. So the usability team now are working on reaching out to every user and making sure that they know how to navigate it, and how to actually find the tasks, because we have a lot of tasks listed for each team, but lots of people don't know that. They don't know to look for the pinned tweets to find the tasks, or they don't know necessarily who they should talk to in each group to find out how they can contribute, etc., etc. So this usability team is there to support the new members so that we can hopefully do a lot more around orientation. It's really user orientation for the movement.
But I was thinking about the Discord terms of service, actually.
Oh, okay.
Did you know?
Oh, there was a change to that, apparently, yeah.
So I don't know how they were before. I never looked at them. but I've looked at the new one, and apparently they can decide to just disconnect someone, and somebody was worried that maybe they'll suddenly disconnect us for some reason.
Okay, so in the event that happens,
I have no idea.
We foresaw that from day one. And so we have kept live backups of every single letter that is typed into our server, so that in the event that we can't use Discord as a platform, we still have all the archive content and the structure that we can replicate elsewhere. And it's also why we encourage people to go to unity4j.com/Discord, because that's our domain and that's our portal into our platform. So rather than giving people a Discord link, so usually when you join a Discord server, you get a discord.gg/whatever URL, and if Discord kicked us off, all those join URLs would become defunct. So by using our own custom URL, we can control that, we can make sure that people are coming through our site and going to where we want them to end up. So if we end up ditching Discord or Discord ditches us, we can simply retain that link and all our graphics which have that link and everything is fine, and just point it to whatever new platform we decide to use and just replicate the channel structure and still have all of our content. So that's why I'm not particularly worried about that. What I'm more worried about with the Discord, and what I assume is the case because of the corruption of other platforms, is and I'm not even really necessarily concerned about it not being encrypted, because they'll just target people's devices anyway, regardless of whether we use an encrypted platform. But I'm more concerned about law enforcement agencies and particularly subcontractors having real-time access to the back end of Discord. And this is something that would be virtually impossible for us to prove, but which I assume is happening because there are so many other platforms that this has been happening on, and them targeting our users with disinformation campaigns. So there was a disinformation campaign going on that I know about on Discord, where new users were being sent private messages on Discord saying, Unity4J is a psyop, and because Susie's in Russia, it's going to be used to discredit Julian, so you shouldn't participate in it, and don't support Unity4J or Susie, blah, 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 blah. There's typical kind of like smear shit that goes on. I mean, I've been facing smears for years. Even when I was in New Zealand, I was getting targeted with smears, or people around me or who had contact with me were being targeted for smears to stop them working with me. So just for you guys to know and to be reassured, I didn't just like come out of nowhere and start supporting Julian and begin this movement this year. WikiLeaks has been sharing my work for 5 consecutive years since 2014, multiple years before I was ever in Europe and multiple years before I was ever in Russia. They've been actively sharing my journalism and my work and my geopolitical analysis. I've been supporting WikiLeaks since 2010. I've been writing about WikiLeaks since 2011. So I have a long track record of working on these issues and being an avid supporter of WikiLeaks and of Julian Assange, and more broadly press freedom and whistleblowers and truth tellers. So no matter what location I was in on the planet, no matter who I am, you can expect that because Julian and WikiLeaks are a CIA target, that anybody who's working to free them or support them is going to be subjected to those types of smears. So it comes down to our users, our people involved in our movement just need to be smart enough that when they hear some bullshit like that, they go, aha, what a surprise. You don't want me to support the movement that's supporting Julian. Fuck off. And that's the appropriate reaction to anybody, whatever random account is sending you messages like that, because it's just patently obvious that their end goal is not concerned. In fact, Mrs. Assange, Christine Assange, calls people who do this concerned trolls. That's her name for them, because they'll be like, I'm so concerned about Julian and WikiLeaks' well-being that I don't think you should support them. It's like it actually makes no sense when you like follow it through logically. It makes no sense whatsoever, and they're pretty easy to pick for that reason, right? But then the other side of that coin, the easy answer is, I personally don't actually care whether you support me or whether you support Uni4J, I care that you take action to free Julian Assange. So if you want to do like Operation Free Assange, is like come up with a hashtag and a name, and they're friends with us, we support them and amplify their work, but they take independent action, they have their own group and they do their own thing. That is excellent. That is fantastic. Same with Free Assange NZ and all the work that they did around the petition and stuff. You know, they're friends with us, we promote the stuff, but they're a separate group, they do their thing. This makes me happy. If there is dozens of groups or hundreds of groups working to free Julian, this is good. This is great. It doesn't have to be led by me. It doesn't have to be participating in our vigils or whatever. The more, the merrier. Because in fact, the harder that decentralization makes it really difficult for those who are targeting Julian and WikiLeaks, because it's yet another group they have to try and get a grip on and everything. Like, it's better. Strength in numbers, but it doesn't have to be all lumped together in one place. So I'm totally cool with whether you want to be a part of Uni4J or not. I'm totally cool with whether you think I'm good at representing the movement or not. And I'm totally cool with whether you want to go and do your own thing that's in support of Julian and in support of WikiLeaks. And any true supporter of Julian will tell you exactly that it doesn't matter, which group, which clique you're with. It just matters that you're taking action to support Julian and to support WikiLeaks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my Lord.
Is Kathy still here? No, she disappeared now. No, it's just funny because I showed her a clip earlier today with Martin Luther King, and he was saying almost exactly the same thing as you, with regards to the movement in the US.
What was he saying?
I have it here. I can actually play it right now.
Oh my God, share screen and play it, because I've never seen that.
It's very relevant to what we're doing, actually. Now I'm sharing computer sound, and there should be a desktop one. There it is. This is it. Your default microphone. Okay. Let's just see if you can hear anything here. There you go. Ready?
Those who say to me, stick to civil rights, I have another answer. Others can do what they want to do. That's their business. Other civil rights leaders, for various reasons, refuse or can't take a stand or have to go along with the administration. That's their business. But I must say tonight that I know that justice is indivisible. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
That's quite relevant. Welcome our honor. I get to stop it here.
Well, holy shit! I certainly didn't know that I was channeling Martin Luther King at all. However, Kitty, actually, I saw her say the same thing to someone. Kitty, who's here with us, she was talking to someone. I know someone was bashing Uni4J, and she said to them, instead of bashing Uni4J, why don't you start a support group for Julian and use this time to go and take some actions to free him? And at the time, I thought, God, you're smart, Kitty. No wonder you're such a good friend. What a smart thing to say, because it's so true. The days of spent on Twitter spats or obsessions with critiquing Uni4J is days that they can spend forming their own group, getting their own mates together, working out an action plan, and doing stuff to free Julian and free WikiLeaks.
Well, Susie, I'm from the baby boomer generation, right? So, and I was a teenager during the civil rights movement. And all of these problems that we're having today occurred at that time as well. There's absolutely nothing new happening. So, when you've seen it once, hey, it just makes sense. The the 1960s civil rights movement was filled with a myriad of groups. They all came from different orientations, different backgrounds. The main focus was to support the civil rights for the Black community, but there was also, women's groups and workers groups and people who were looking at anti-Vietnam War activists. So it was a real hodgepodge, and there were any number of different groups active at different times. And many of them disagreed on many issues, but they came together on the really, really key stuff, and that's what was happening for a while. There was just total waste of time for everybody. Let's have 1,000 groups supporting Julian Assange, because like you said, and that's an excellent point, the more groups you have, the more difficult it is to destroy the movement, because they have to destroy 1,000 groups instead of one. And that's what was a real challenge for them in the civil rights movement. I mean, they had COINTELPRO going, and they were able to target individuals from specific groups, but they couldn't destroy the civil rights movement because there was just way too many disparate and independent organizations that were part of it. And this is the same kind of thing that we have going today. And that's the real power in it. We're a hydra. We need to be a hydra. None of this should be dependent on one person, but there's always going to be a central place. And Unity for J in that way, I actually see it as an umbrella type organization. We'll support everybody. This is what Martin Luther King did too. He was left wing, he was a socialist, but he didn't attack the poor whites who were out making outrageously racist comments and things like this. He didn't attack the patriots. I mean, you had the Black Panthers partnering with the patriots in the 1960s because they understood that those young, poor white kids were suffering almost as much as the Black kids were. It was the poverty that was killing them, and it was not, and the race issue was just to divide. It was a divide and rule tactic. So when the Black Panthers and the Young Patriots got together, that broke through the divide and rule politics and allowed the Black Panthers to do a huge amount of really positive work in the community. And they were smeared. They were attacked viciously by the state because of that, because they had the ability to unite everybody. It was a very, very powerful thing that they did at that time.
That's amazing, and I love learning more about those years because I wasn't around in those years, and I feel like there are so many lessons to learn. And I remember very early on in my activism life watching a documentary about the 1999 was it Seattle Days of Rage protest, and people were walking down the street, marching down the street, chanting, "Whose streets? Our streets." And the people united can never be defeated. And I was like, how do they know our chants? Those are our chants from Occupy. But this is like 12 years ago. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. These chants have been around forever. The struggle has been around forever. They don't know our chants. We know their chants.
Well, if we independently come to the same conclusions as Martin Luther King, I don't think that's so bad. It's quite that has to be good.
We're on the right track, I think.
Yeah, I definitely think so. And yeah, I don't so much see Unity for J as an umbrella organization, but I see it as it was like the spearhead. It was the wake-up call to everyone saying, okay, time to get off your ass and focus on Julian, because I feel like we took him for granted for a really long time. And I feel like 2018 is the year that we were able to get a message out that we can't take him for granted, and we need to fight for him. We can't just hope for the best. We need to actually get off our butts and do something about it. And I've seen that even our critics Julian are more vocal in support of Julian than they were before Unity for Jay. And I have seen a little bit of, they say like what imitation is the highest form of flattery. So anybody that wants to imitate our efforts, I think, is a fantastic thing for Julian and a fantastic thing for WikiLeaks.
Oh, absolutely. And, the concept that you've developed of allowing, inviting people to come in, hey, use our resources if you want. Come in and get our graphics team to help you out and things like that. That's brilliant. That's, that allows everybody to build on what has already been built, right? And just expands the entire movement hugely. It's really, really excellent anyway.
Yeah, the whole being open to the public and being transparent thing is a really important lesson, because it's so easy to react the other way to the pressure and the infiltration and everything from the agencies. It's so easy to close yourself in to a small group and to make yourself unapproachable to people. And I think that that's a mistake. I think that we have to react to the pressure from the intelligence agencies by becoming more accessible and becoming more open and more transparent. And I think that it makes it a lot harder for them, because what is their agenda? Their agenda is isolation. They want to isolate us, make us feel like we're all alone, make us feel like we have to protect ourselves and everything. And I'm not saying I certainly do protect myself. If I get some random unknown person, as I do like 3 times a week, saying to me, oh, I just happened to be in Moscow, come and have lunch with me, I do not go and have lunch with them. But you still have to protect yourself physically and personally, especially if you're a known target. However, there's no reason that we can't do democratic, legal activism in the public sphere and in the public eye. And I think it's really important that we do it that way. And that's not to say, because I'm also for diversity of tactics, like animal rights groups that are actually, going and running operations on battery hen farms or something, or certain types of civil disobedience. They may want to keep, be secretive and, or use various methods to protect themselves from public scrutiny. And I totally understand that. And I'm not at all demeaning that or decrying that. But in a campaign like this, where we are using very, very mainstream tactics and methods and actions that are totally legal and above board, I think it's in our interest to be as public and as open and as accessible as possible. And I think that's how we saw the big influx of so many people coming on to support this campaign, because we made it so easy for them to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually a very important part of this. There are times when secrecy matters, and there are times when it's very, very important that we be out there and be as public as possible, and be known under our actual names, who we are, and what we're doing, that we have a position in this world as activists somehow. That's one of the great things about some of the people who are here, like Susie. You have a long history and you're well known in terms of the Occupy movement. Same with Liz, and Bruce King. I think you're fairly well known in New Zealand as well, are you not? I mean, from what I've seen from your tweets, you seem to be in the middle of everything. He
is a brilliant analyst and has his finger on the pulse of the New Zealand issues. Absolutely. And I definitely think there's not many people in the New Zealand Twitter sphere that don't know Bruce's handle.
Yeah. So,
and I must say, just to heap some more compliments on Bruce. Bruce is really good at walking the line between observation and criticism. So he gets engagement. Like a lot of times the MPs will engage with him. People will engage with him because he's reporting. He is actually reporting on issues. Whereas I would oftentimes be more inclined to be like, this is bullshit. Like I think I said today, what is this bullshit narrative by this member of parliament, blah, 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 blah. that's me expressing my personal distaste, but it's actually not the greatest way to get them to engage. Whereas Bruce is really, really good at keeping it right down the middle of that line between observation and criticism and getting the engagement from those who are in a position of power. So I think kudos to Bruce for that. Elizabeth's applauding you silently. She's muted. But yeah, that's what I've noticed of Bruce's tweeting.
And then we have Bjorn here, who appears to be very talented. I mean, I really like that website he's putting together. I mean, it's so well done. You know, I used to do, I'm retired now, but I used to do web development. And, you know, so I like those kind of clean lines on a website. I don't like these cluttered sites where, you know, you can't really focus on anything and they just have stuff all over the place. It just annoys the hell out of me, right? But when you have a nice, clean website where everything is clear and where your clicks are minimal to get where you want to go, that to me is elegant design, right? And he's done an amazing job.
For sure. Okay, I'm going to cut this stream short tonight because I can feel like my flu is becoming laryngitis, and I want to still be around to be able to talk to you guys for the next 2 nights and to get some real work done. So now is 25th of October. We have got the next online vigil on, I believe, the 3rd of November. We then have the next Unity for J Day on the 4th of November. If you're in the Discord graphics team or in the comms team, you'll see that I put the calls out today. We need vigil graphics, banners, and sidebar for the next vigil to go to scoop.co.nz, who are an amazing independent news outlet in New Zealand, very well known, one of the top websites in New Zealand, who've been carrying out banner advertising every month for the vigils. I'd like to get that to them sooner rather than later. We'll also be drafting the press release for the next vigil. Fortunately, we have the prior press releases from past vigils to use as a template. If you want to help out Mackenzie Rose and the comms team on drafting those, that would be fantastic. Sorry.
We can go over the outreach letter tomorrow or Friday.
I'm happy for you to do it. I'm happy if you want to go ahead and do it tonight. I'd be more than happy for you to do that because I don't think that I need to be involved in that. And I'd really like to step away and just rest my voice for a bit. But I've just got a message from Kathy Vogan. Please let people know that she will be that she will present the editing platform for the Unity for J documentary tomorrow. It's so important that we get these 1-minute team portraits coming in of Wikibees in their studios, on the streets, and at live events. Cool. So that's another thing that would be really helpful is to get on Twitter, look up Unity for J Day, find all these pictures of people. There's some just came out the other day of outside the Ecuadorian embassy in Washington, D.C., people with #Wikibees signs and #Unity for J signs. It's just amazing to me to see people taking the message and hitting the streets with it. These are things we definitely want to include in the documentary. So any stills or videos that you can find on social media and go and post into the documentary channels would be fantastic. So in terms of the vigil, I will get the invites out to guests by this weekend. And I think we only have like 24 speaking slots, I think, and we have like 80 participants. So it'll be first in, first served. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with Kitty, and she can go through this research letter with you guys, and you guys just feel, I mean, this is the thing about Wikibees. I enjoy that other people can pick it up and run with it, and that I don't have to be here hand-holding because you guys are fully capable and qualified of doing this yourselves. You don't need me. So thank you very much. I love you all. If you have questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat, or you can tweet at me later if you have something specific that you want to talk to me about. But otherwise, I'm going to go save my voice now. So thank you all. Ka kite anō.
Good night.
Thanks, Susie.
Okay, so basically what I have is the outreach letter that we were working on a couple of weeks ago. But I have, when I put it into a Word document, I realized that this letter is 5 pages long. Now, sending out an email in outreach, outreaching out to people who don't know us, that is the equivalent of 5 Word document pages long, is not going to be read. I swear, if I receive an email like that, it goes straight into spam. I don't even look at it because I don't care. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're emailing me about. And I am not going to sit there and read, that much text. So what I've done is I have compressed it so that it is now about one page. And then we have, maybe half a page of links. So people can go to the links and get the details of the story there, but they are only dealing with reading one page of text, and it will be spaced out in a way that they can just look at a paragraph or ignore it, and just scan through and make a quick decision. So I'm going to just share the screen and open this up so that you can take a look. I just wanted to explain why I had
Did she disappear?
I was wondering if that was my computer. Kitty, we can't hear you.
Okay, I should also forewarn you that I'm having connection issues and I will be dropping in and out all night. It's unfortunate, but that's what's been happening all night. Okay, so let me get back to this and I shall share the screen. Let's see. Okay, so you're seeing the screen. This is the document. So as you can see, it's quite a bit shorter. It's only a few paragraphs. So if you want to, I don't know if you're able to read it very well. Are you able to read it, Liz or Bruce?
I only see half of it. I'm not sure how it looks in YouTube. I'm just about to go look at YouTube, but
is it better?
Somehow, no. I could just see it's hiding behind. At least for me, it's kind of hiding behind your side screen here. But maybe that's just the way I've configured my computer.
No, it probably has more to do with my computer, unfortunately.
I can only, do you want me to do a screenshot and send it to you?
Sure, that would be helpful.
Okay. This is what I see, but this is in Zoom. I've got to look up on YouTube. Okay, I'm just waiting for this.
On YouTube, it looks okay.
Does it?
Yeah, I took a look on YouTube and it looks okay. It looks like you can read everything.
Ooh, I don't think I can put in our chat. I don't know if I can put a picture. That's weird.
It's okay. It's all right.
Okay.
So anyway, I will read it out. Excuse me. And you can let me know what you think. Essentially, it starts out, to whom it may concern, the Unity for J movement believes it is in the best interest of humanity, democracy. The last time I tried that, it didn't work out well, but I will try it again.
It's a Mac. Maybe it's the command.
I'm sorry?
It's a Mac. Maybe it's the command button or something.
Is that easier? Yep. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. All righty. No, that's okay. Please, I don't mind. So people can read it now? Liz, are you able to read it?
A little more.
I can just see like one corner. That's how.
Okay, let me try making it a little bigger.
Bigger? Oh, I'm thinking.
Are we good?
All I see is WikiLeaks founder and was granted asylum by political complex legal. It's like little fragments. Okay. I'll watch the live stream.
Okay. Is it helpful if I read it, or should I just let you read?
I like it. You could read it for me.
Okay. All right. The Unity for J movement believes it is in the best interest of humanity, democracy, and an informed public that we urgently act together to secure the freedom of WikiLeaks founder and publisher Julian Assange. Mr. Assange, as the founder and publisher of WikiLeaks, has never been charged with any crime in any country. He applied for and was granted asylum by Ecuadorian past president Rafael Correa as a result of US legal threats to extradite him and physical threats against his person. Despite his status and due to both political and complex legal situations, the UK, in violation of international law, refused to grant him safe passage to Ecuador and has publicly stated that he will be arrested should he attempt to leave. In recent months, his situation has become critical. Julian Assange has been held in isolation for the last 7 months in the embassy on the instructions of recently elected President Lenin Moreno. Moreno has been building close political ties with the US, which raises many concerns in relation to Mr. Assange's status. After 6 years of confinement, his health is also at serious risk, and he has been refused safe passage for necessary medical interventions. All of this in violation of his civil rights and international law. Detailed information regarding his case can be found in the links below this message. Notable figures such as Daniel Ellsberg, John Kiriakou, Ray McGovern, Dave Swanson, William Binney, Chris Hedges, George Galloway, and many others have appeared at our events and spoken in support of both Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. Both have, for over a decade, demonstrated an unwavering conviction towards human rights, peace, transparency, and truth by exposing corruption, malfeasance, and abuses of power at the highest levels. The core Unity for J movement currently numbers 2,800 members, all of whom are united across political, ideological, and geographical barriers to form a non-violent digital collective in support of both Assange and WikiLeaks. Our most recent event attracted over 220,000 live viewers, with Twitter analytics showing 153,178,640 impressions for the Unity for J hashtag. We call upon you to stand up for the fundamental values detailed in the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights and other foundations of international law, to join us in ending this illegal and unethical treatment of Mr. Assange and WikiLeaks. We are asking you to use your platforms, influence, and networks to make public expressions of solidarity, taking protest action, sharing petitions, issuing a press release voicing your concern for his situation and/or raising awareness for his cause and that of WikiLeaks. It is crucial that organizations such as yours help to build the critical mass needed to achieve these aims, as what happens to Assange and WikiLeaks will establish a precedent for how governments are allowed to deal with publishers, journalists, whistleblowers, and everyone else that dares to speak out against those who hold power over the powerless. It falls upon every generation to wage the battles of previous generations towards preserving hard-won democratic rights and freedoms. This, we believe, is one of the greatest struggles of our generation, and we are steadfast in our commitment to prevent the torture and martyring of Julian Assange by the very governments whose illegal crimes he helped to expose. Thank you for your consideration of these important issues. We look forward to working with you in the near future. So, thoughts, comments?
That was impressive. I didn't even know I just learned about our stats just now. That was pretty amazing. But it was really well written and described, you packed a lot of information into that one page with the links. And yeah, I don't know if I'd change anything. I like it.
Are there any comments in YouTube, Liz?
Let me take a look. Let's see. I haven't seen. Someone said it's very small. It's hard to see, but I think that's something we're still trying to sort out. There's a bit of a lag at least.
They can expand the YouTube screen to full screen, and then they'll be able to see it.
I don't know if everyone has this, but there's a bit of a lag. So maybe some comments will come up in a minute. Let's see.
Now here are the links. So there's about half a page of links, and I've numbered them all and connected them to the article, to the segments of the article. So people can just see number 1 is attached to this paragraph. They can get more information by clicking on the number 1 link.
That's great. Let's see if there's any comments. Bruce is saying it's excellent.
Oh, that's good.
Decided to type it. And what other, where else are we streaming? There's Periscope. Is chat only in YouTube? Bruce or anyone else, can you see any other comments in chat? I don't know if my computer's just running slow.
I'm only monitoring YouTube, so I don't know. If someone's watching Periscope, that'd be great.
There was a comment that said, I can see it fine now. And if anyone has the Periscope link, maybe you could put in our little panel chat. I don't think I have that.
Sorry. Okay, I'll take a look at that. I think if I'm thinking of the section, the same section, both refers to Assange and WikiLeaks.
Yes.
The member count is the number of people in Discord.
Can you put that explicitly?
The number of people, members that we have in Discord was 2,800, I believe. Yes, 2,800. So these are people that are available. Not all of them are active every day, but they all, a lot of them are active contributors. So we have, for example, our research team is quite large. So when people come in and ask a question in the research channel, they get an answer very quickly. Were there any more questions that I should be addressing here?
Well, I think it's very well written, and also the structure is great. It's excellent. Just the way it's set up is excellent. So, I mean, I saw like one comma that could be put in, something like that. It's going through the real nitty-gritty details. That's the only thing.
What was the comment? Sorry, I didn't follow that.
Comma.
Oh, comma. Okay.
It's really down to that level.
It needs a final edit. It does for sure. Now, most of this was already written. All I did was take out what I thought was extraneous and tweak sentences here and there. The credit for the actual writing goes to Mackenzie Rose, I believe, who wrote the original document and did an amazing job. She's a very, very good writer. So I don't want to take credit, take any credit away from her. So basically I just reworked it. That's all I did. And I took out everything that I could take out and still have it make sense.
So do you want to go through paragraph by paragraph again and do the final edit, or do you want to do that yourself?
Why don't we do that right now and get it done? Because, it's always better if somebody else notices this stuff. I don't always, I'm terrible at doing my own editing. I don't see the mistakes, right? So yeah, let's go through it paragraph by paragraph. Do you want me to share it again? I will expand it and share it. Now, like I said, I'm having connection issues, so I will be disappearing from time to time, and for that I apologize. Okay. Is it large enough for you to? If you expand the YouTube, you should be able to read it the same way that I'm reading it. If you expand the YouTube to full screen.
So it's my personal taste, like in newspapers, to have very short paragraphs. I don't know if you feel that. Like, I would make the first paragraph, I would split it even after the first sentence, like they do in newspapers. But is that just a stylistic thing, or do people like that as well?
I prefer short paragraphs too. I just retained what was originally there. So, I can cut that into half, absolutely. Because like I said, that's my preference as well. So let's see, we'll change it at the he.
I would do it even after the first sentence.
Okay. Oh, this is I need to change the the link because this is not my edit link. This is the view link. So I can't edit it. That's all I have to do.
Do people say best interest or best interests? I would use the plural. I don't know.
I'd have to look at the sentence again. I'm just waiting for the pad to load into edit mode. And as soon as it does, I'll take a look at the sentence again. Okay, just 1 second here. I'm going to get the Word document because this, I don't have time to look through my link. And I know where the Word document is. And I'm just going to open that up and work on that because, let's see. Okay, and I will share this. Are you able to see the Word document here?
Yes, in Zoom, I see it fine.
Okay. Okay, so the first sentence then, the Unity for J movement. Okay, so is it Mr. Assange as the founder should be, is where you were suggesting we?
Yes.
Okay. Has never been charged. He applied with, despite his status. Should I put that into its own?
Yes.
Okay. In recent months, his situation. Okay, this part I'll leave together just because it's all, you know, part of the same. In recent months, let's see. Well, actually, we could split this here. And we could split the health as a separate point. Okay, I'll leave it there and I'll let you take a look, Bruce, and let me know if you agree with that or you think it should be, or I've
Yes,
gone
that looks
overboard.
good. That looks good. So in the very first sentence, is it the Unity for J movement believes it is in the best interests?
Okay, sorry, I got disconnected again, so I will share it again. And I didn't, if you commented, Bruce, I didn't hear any of it, so you'll need to say it again.
Yeah, so first sentence, the Unity for J movement believes it is in the best interests.
Okay.
Is how I would say it in New Zealand, I don't know.
I think either way works.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're more comfortable with best interests.
So the first sentence, first paragraph after the italics.
Oh, after the italics, okay.
Yeah. There's no need for the both Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. You can delete both.
Which both do you want me to delete? The first one. In support of Julian Assange. Okay, I understand. Yes, you're right. That tightens it up nicely. It's redundant.
I would start with the next sentence with for over a decade.
Okay.
And then I would just say they have demonstrated. It's still not perfect, but...
For over a decade. It is better, I think. I see what you're doing, and it looks... Okay, so let's just review this. Oh.
Sorry, I'm doing... Spoken in support of Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, who, comma, for over a decade have demonstrated... Just make it one sentence, I think.
Okay. Let me just move this number 2 out of the way. That'll simplify it. Okay. Okay.
Who for over a decade have demonstrated.
Excuse me. Okay.
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, the next paragraph was, the question was about what it meant for the members, but I actually like it like it is, just saying the core unity for J movement, that's fine. I would split the paragraph in at the 2 sentences.
Here?
Yeah, make it 2 paragraphs.
Okay.
Okay, next paragraph. I would take out the brackets.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Right. I have this bad habit of putting brackets in when I don't need them.
Should there be a comma after international law?
I was just thinking the same thing. There we go. So now we go into the second page on the right. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to add a paragraph or split it.
Good.
Here.
Yes.
This seems awkward to me. These aims, comma, as what happens to. That
Yes.
seems...
You could do a full stop after aims and then start with what.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because that just comes across as a bit awkward. Yeah. And I'll split it here.
Yes. You could, one of the greatest struggles of our generation, full stop, and then start with we.
Okay, let's see. One of the greatest struggles of our generation, full stop. Okay. Yeah, that's better. That's tighter.
Well, that looks excellent to me. I think that's brilliantly written, and full credit to Mackenzie Rose.
Yes, absolutely. She's a really amazing writer. I've seen some of the other stuff, her press releases, and she writes incredibly well. Okay, so I guess we're done then with this, which is nice because next week, or that means over the next couple of days, I can set up the email and get it sent out to people. I guess it goes to final approval first, and then out it goes. And this is a really important time to get these emails out. I think we need to get the outreach happening quickly now, because they're really coming forward. I don't know if you saw the tweets today that Korea is saying that he actually thinks that they may be ready to hand Julian over soon, Julian Assange. So that is bad news.
Kitty, may I ask you a question?
Sure.
What is there new information? I didn't get a chance to read that article yet. I mean, what is making him think that it's about to happen?
He wasn't specific.
Okay.
But I think he just has a lot of inside information, because of who he is. He is probably accessing a lot of inside information and is coming to these conclusions based on that. That's just a guess. I have no idea because I don't have any connection with him. We have one person in Ecuador who's a boots on the ground activist. And he's given us some helpful information, but Korea is, he was the past president, so he has, I'm sure, access to stuff that we'll never see.
Yeah.
Unless there's a whistleblower that comes forward.
My computer froze.
Yeah.
There's a comment from YouTube from Stephanie Marcelia, and it says, any way we can change passive voices to an active tense will be punchier.
Okay. Let's take a look again and see what we can do with that. Okay. So what can we do with that? The one thing I'm trying to avoid is not to be too dramatic. I don't want us to sound Sorry, looks like I lost everybody again. Okay, we've got it back up. Well, I think the first paragraph has the active tense in it. We urgently act together to secure the freedom. Can we ask Stephanie if she has specific suggestions? Because I don't really see anything that I would change here at this point. But if Stephanie has some specific suggestions, then we could take a look at those.
Just mention that there's a delay. How many seconds? I don't know, maybe 40 seconds between what we're seeing in Zoom and what's shown on YouTube. So please be patient, Stephanie, if we seem to be taking a long time to respond. Stephanie says, the active part is where you should start.
I'm not sure what she's referring to. Can we bring her into Zoom?
Oh, she says, I'm sorry, but it's too small for me to be more specific. So she's just been listening to us talking, I think, and you reading it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, well, maybe let Stephanie, we will definitely take a look at it. And I will see if I can spice it up a bit, make it a little bit punchier. But I think we actually do have I think we actually are using the active tense. It may be coming across as low-key because of the way I'm reading it or something else. But I'm looking at the words that we're using, and I can't see any way of making it more of an active tense than it actually is.
Monday 11111 says, yes, too small here too. Perhaps a reread, please.
Okay, I can do that. The Unity for J movement believes it is in the best interests of humanity, democracy, and an informed public that we urgently act together to secure the freedom of WikiLeaks founder and publisher Julian Assange. Mr. Assange, as the founder and publisher of WikiLeaks, has never been charged with any crime in any country. He applied for and was granted asylum by Ecuadorian past president Rafael Correa as a result of US legal threats to extradite him and physical threats against his person. Despite his status and due to both political and complex legal situations, the UK, in violation of international law, refused to grant him safe passage to Ecuador and has publicly stated that he will be arrested should he attempt to leave. In recent months, his situation has become critical. Julian Assange has been held in isolation for the last 7 months in the embassy on the instructions of recently elected President Lenin Moreno. Moreno has been building close political ties with the US, which raises many concerns in relation to Mr. Assange's status. After 6 years of confinement, his health is also at serious risk, and he has been refused safe passage for necessary medical interventions. All of this is in violation of his civil rights and international law. Detailed information regarding his case can be found in the links below this message. Notable public figures such as Daniel Ellsberg, John Kiriakou, Ray McGovern, David Swanson, William Binney, Chris Hedges, George Galloway, and many others have appeared at our events and spoken in support of Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, who, for over a decade, have demonstrated an unwavering conviction towards human rights, peace, transparency, and truth by exposing corruption, malfeasance, and abuses of power at the highest levels. The core Unity for J movement currently numbers 2,800 members, all of whom are united across political, ideological, and geographical barriers to form a non-violent digital collective in support of both Assange and WikiLeaks. Our most recent event attracted over 220,000 live viewers, with Twitter analytics showing 153,178,640 impressions for the Unity for J hashtag. We call upon you to stand up for the fundamental values detailed in the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights and other foundations. Excuse me one sec. And other foundations of international law to join us in ending this illegal and unethical treatment of Mr. Assange and WikiLeaks. We're asking you to use your platforms, influence, and networks to make public expressions of solidarity, taking protest actions, sharing petitions, issuing a press release, voicing your concern for his situation, and or raising awareness for his cause and that of WikiLeaks. It is crucial that organizations such as yours help to build the critical mass needed to achieve these aims. What happens to Assange and WikiLeaks will establish a precedent for how governments are allowed to deal with publishers, journalists, whistleblowers, and everyone else that dares to speak out against those who hold power over the powerless. It falls upon every generation to wage the battles of previous generations towards preserving hard-won democratic rights and freedoms. This, we believe, is one of the greatest struggles of our generation. We are steadfast in our commitment to prevent the torture and martyring of Julian Assange by the very governments whose illegal crimes he helped to expose. Thank you for your consideration of these important issues. We look forward to working with you in the near future. So that's it.
Hi, Kitty.
Hi, Mackenzie.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Just got back from work, so. There's one thing that sticks out to me.
Okay.
Just in the second paragraph on the first page there, we have he applied for and was granted, that little sentence there.
Yes.
It might flow a bit better to say by former Ecuadorian President Rafael Correa instead of past president.
Okay, sure. Let's put that in. By former. Yeah, that's a better way of phrasing it, isn't it? There we go. It's much, that's smoother.
That paragraph, take out the third word, take out the as.
Which paragraph?
The same paragraph, the second one.
Okay, he applied for and was granted asylum?
No, right at the start. Take out as. Take out the third word.
Okay. So that's Mr. Assange, the founder and publisher. Okay. That's good.
You could actually swap the two clauses of that second sentence. As a result of US legal threats to extradite him and physical threats against this person, comma, Assange applied for and was granted asylum by former Ecuadorian President Rafael Correa.
Okay. Are you okay with that too, Mackenzie?
Yeah, I actually like that suggestion.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we start with, as a result of US legal threats to extradite him and physical threats against his person, comma, he applied for and was granted asylum by former Ecuadorian President. Yeah. Very nice. So are we good, or anyone else have anything more?
I'm just asking back in the YouTube channel to see if they have any feedback. Stephanie said, thanks for the readback, it was helpful. Monday says the same thing.
Back again. Sorry about this.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I was going to say a quick good night to everyone. I may be listening in the background, but I only had about 4 hours of sleep, so I'm going to try to wake up a little bit and go eat my dinner.
Oh, it's great having you here, Liz. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. It was really nice to see everyone and great work as always. Thanks for, sorry I'm missing you, Mackenzie, as you show up, but I will see you all soon. Have a good night, but I'll be maybe listening in the background.
Good night.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night. Sorry about that. My Wi-Fi totally cut out mid-sentence. I was going to say, in the third paragraph, despite his status.
Yeah.
The and due to both political and complex legal situations could probably just be and due to complex legal and political situations. Or circumstances actually would probably be a better.
Okay, so let's just get this right. Due to complex
legal and political circumstances.
Okay, legal and political circumstance. You have a really nice way of phrasing things, Mackenzie. I have to tell you that. You really do. Yeah. So how are we doing? Any more comments from the Peanut Gallery and YouTube?
Okay, so Monday 11111 says see above renumbers. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's referring to a previous comment. After the numbers given, suggested adding and growing.
Okay. So currently numbers 2,800 members and growing. Okay.
And is growing? Oh, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Or continues to grow?
Yes. It doesn't need a comma then if it has an and, does it? And continues to grow, yes. I don't know, Mackenzie, your writing's so beautiful. I mean...
let me just scan the sentence. Give me one quick second. I think we should do and continues to grow, but I do think there should be a comma because it's kind of a side note to the sentence.
Okay.
You could even put it in brackets, honestly. But that's up to you, just because it's kind of like you're talking about the members and then you're going to all of whom. So you don't want to say and continues to grow all of whom.
I would suggest actually before, instead of all of all of whom, to just say we are united. New sentence, we are united.
Good idea.
Yeah, I think that
it is quite a long sentence, so.
Okay, so we have the core Unity for J movement, currently numbers 2,800 members and continues to grow. We are united across political, ideological, and geographic barriers to form a nonviolent digital collective in support of both. Yeah, that works out to me perfectly.
Sorry, I would say maybe we have united would be better.
We have united? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We have united. All right.
Do we know, are these statistics about Twitter and the impressions and all that, are they up to date?
I will verify that. I know the website that our friend uses to do that. These are probably from the 4th online vigil. So we'll need to get them for the 5th online vigil. So I'll see if we can do that. I assume he did it, but I don't know. If he didn't, we'll have to stick with these, and I can change that to our 4th online vigil attracted over, rather than our most recent event. But that's a good point. I will verify that with him, because we do want to have, current figures.
Right.
Okay, from YouTube again, Stephanie Masilia, Stephanie says, I still say wherever past or future perfect tense is used should be considered in a more active tense, but it's a very good piece.
She might be referring to the change that we made in the paragraph we were just working on, the "we have united," because that is a bit passive, but it does make sense for the sentence. I mean, either have or are would work. It just depends on what you're trying to say.
So are you thinking we should change it back to are, or?
Well, I don't think there's really there's not really a grammatical error here. Either one works. I think it's just a matter of what you want the sentence to say, but also a little bit of variety might be okay in terms of tense, just because, you know, we don't want every sentence to read the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm flip-flopping now. I think "we are" sounds good now, eh?
Yeah, I kind of preferred the "we are," but you know, I wasn't too picky. Yeah.
Yeah, we're unanimous now.
Okay.
We all like each other too much. We just we never want to disagree.
Well, in something like this, which isn't that critical, you know what I mean? Like,
right. You got to pick your battles.
You got to pick your battles. That's right.
Monday 11111 says, stellar work to all of you good people.
Oh, thank you very much. We really appreciate hearing that. We really do. And a lot of the credit, like I said, goes to Mackenzie. She did the original document. And, you know, since then, we've just all been editing it and you know,
Thank you.
on it.
Thank you. But honestly, like, I look back at this and it's a completely different and much better document from what I produced originally. So I won't take all the credit there.
Well, that's the crowdsourcing, crowd mind sourcing, I guess is what you call it. Crowd brain sourcing. I don't know how many people have worked on this now. I mean, we've been responding to feedback from so many. I think this is the third time we've edited it online.
Yeah.
So it's been the work of numerous.
Nolan Powers says, love seeing everyone working together for Julian. The writing is excellent.
And thank you very much again. But like I said, this is a team effort, and people in YouTube have contributed to it. You know, people in Discord have contributed to it. We've all contributed to it here in WikiBees. So this is an effort that really the credit goes to numerous people who have been involved in, you know, making suggestions and working things out in terms of what needs to be said. So yeah, it is a good document. It's an excellent document. I'm really happy with it now, and I think we're ready to go. So I will talk to Susie and get the final approval tomorrow, and we'll get going on it. So I don't know if anyone else has anything that they want to contribute, or we can end the meeting now and get on with our lives.
I think we're good to go.
Yeah, I think it looks wonderful. I was just reading the last part. That's excellent. That's so good.
Sounds good. See you all then.
Okay, so we're agreed that we're done. Great. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thanks, you too.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Our number one enemy is ignorance. And I believe that is the number one enemy of everyone, is not understanding what is actually going on in the world. It's only when you start to understand that you can make effective decisions and effective plans. Now, the question is, who is promoting ignorance? Well, those organisations that try to keep things secret, and those organisations which distort true information to make it false or misrepresentative. In this latter category, it is bad media. It really is my opinion that the media in general are so bad, we have to question whether the world wouldn't be better off without them altogether. They're so distortive to how the world actually is, that the result is we see wars and we see corrupt governments continue on. One of the hopeful things that I've discovered is that nearly every war that has started in the past 50 years has been a result of media lies. The media could have stopped it if they had searched deep enough. If they hadn't reprinted government propaganda, they could have stopped it. But what does that mean? Well, that means basically populations don't like wars. And populations have to be fooled into wars. Populations don't willingly, with open eyes, go into a war. So if we have a good media environment, then we'll also have a peaceful environment.
Julian Assange, thank you very much.